Thank you for tuning in to TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is Beautiful Saturday. And we are talking about reevaluating your choices, like how you know you can't do what it is you want to do. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, and share because if you get anything out of this content, chances are someone else will as well. So share with those you know, love, and care about. Also, check out the links below for my book as well as for Young Living. Young Living is an essential oil company, best in the business. They do not sponsor me, but I am a distributor for them. So check out the link below for your essential oil needs. And let's get to it. So, the question of the week is, how do you know you can't do it? Okay. And this kind of came up because it's my son's birthday, and one of the things that he has always wanted to do was blacksmithing. And me being a victim of my environment and society, grow up, you grew up thinking that there are just certain things that you're not able to do, certain things that sound like they just gonna cost too much, or you're not gonna find anything, or you don't hear anything about it, so you think it's something that you can't do or you don't have access to, or if you do have access to it, it's gonna cost too much. And we allow those thoughts to really hold us back from even trying to find out, like to even look into it. So I was at a Made in Michigan festival probably about a month or two ago. And while we were there, it was a gentleman who was selling stuff that he made. And it was all smithing stuff like knives and other metal workings that he had made himself. And so I asked him, well, do you teach classes? He said, yes. He said his classes are like $20 an hour. He doesn't really advertise it, but if I contact him, he works something out with me. So I came back home because that place was the place where he actually blacksmiths is probably about an hour and a half away. And so I thought about it. I'm like, okay, well, I can take him out there, and for $20 an hour, I might as well do it with him. So, but then I was like, something told me, look and see if there's someplace closer. So I looked to see if there was someplace closer, and I found a place that's actually right down the street. Like, I've been driving past this place my whole life almost, okay? My whole life almost. It's been that close this whole time. And when I reached out to them, it's $200 for 4-hour class, and it's a beginner's class. They have all the supplies there, everything you need. He ain't gotta bring nothing, just show up, okay? For a 4-hour class, and he gets taught the blacksmithing, the 101s to blacksmithing, as well as, making a product. So it's a class. It's not somebody just showing you something for $20 an hour. It's somebody who actually has a plan and will teach you. And I'm sitting there thinking, $200, this boy could have been took this class, okay? Ben took this class. But it was just one of those things that, you hold yourself back from because you just assume that it costs too much, or you just assume it's going to be something that's not available to you, or you assume it's something you can't actually go after and do. When in all actuality, not only could he do it, but it was $200. That's it. That's it for a whole class to learn how to do what it is he does. And he has the opportunity to go back, and do other stuff. So $200, that's for a class, that doing something that you really love for a birthday gift. Like, come on, y'all. We waste more than $200 in a year, in a given year. That ain't crap. So to invest in somebody as far as something that they're interested in and something they want to do, that ain't crap. Okay, that's not a lot of money. We waste more money than that. And I don't care if you brokered and broke, you still waste more money than $200 a year. So it's just a matter of getting to the point of reevaluating how you look at things and what you think is possible. Just because it's something that people around you don't do doesn't necessarily mean that it's not available. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to cost too much. It just means that the people in your environment didn't want to do it. So go find an environment where they did want to do it and where they'll teach you how to do it. Okay? That's all it really means. It doesn't mean that it's going to cost you an arm and a leg or this mass fortune to go after. It just means you need to find out how much it's actually going to cost and make a way for it to happen. It's something I told you guys before. Like, we look at problems and we look at these things that we want to do and how they're unattainable. Like, you can't reach it. You can't get there. You'll never make it to that point, where instead all we have to do is ask ourselves, how can I get there? How can I reach that point? How can I make that happen? Going back to what I said before, which I learned from my mentor, Tim Hahn, is that problems are really, y'all, I'm nosy. I'm nosy because my window is right here and I can see. So I'm looking at somebody walking past because it looked like they was about to come in my yard. But anyway, so like Tim Hahn said, though, problems are just questions that are looking for answers. That's it. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So if it's something that you've been wanting to do, it's something that you're interested in, and you've been feeling like it's unattainable, or you feel like it's something you can't do, go out there and find out. I'm one, I like trying new things, so I go out there and I'll try it, especially some of the stuff that's free that don't cost me nothing to try. Like one of the things I've been wanting to do is voice acting, to where you somebody uses your voice, whether it's to read a book or a cartoon or something like that. So guess what? That's one of the things on my to-do list as soon as I finish doing what I'm doing with this credit stuff. Once I complete all of that and take a breather to really do things I enjoy doing, that's one of the things I'm about to do, because you can do that. You can start that out for free. It don't even cost you nothing. So all I'm saying is if it's something that you've been trying to do or been wanting to do, instead of guessing at how much it's going to cost, or guessing at your how well you'll be able to do it, or the availability of it, or look into it. Go out there and look and see. Don't guess. Just go look and see. And I gotta thank my sister for that, because that's one of the things that she does. She'll ask, well, it costs too much. Do you know it costs too much? Like, you checked into it and it costs too much, or you just think it costs too much? So yeah, she get on your nerves when she asks you them questions, but she's right though. Like, if you didn't check on it, how you know it costs too much? You don't. So all this time I never checked into it. I never even thought that it would be something that would even be available. I never even looked into it. And here it is. I pass this place all the time, my whole life. I passed this place, and he could have been learning blacksmithing years ago. But I also believe everything happens when it's supposed to. So this is the time he's supposed to be learning. So it all works out in divine order. But the point of it is that divine order could have happened a lot quicker if I had just thought to look it up, see, instead of thinking that it was something impossible that he couldn't do. He could have been doing this when he was a teenager, But in any case, it is what it is. But I wanted to share that lesson that I learned with you guys, because you might have something that you've been holding out on, something that you've been saying that, oh, I can't do this because it costs too much, or it's not available, or I can't find nobody that do whatever. Find it. Okay, trust me, somebody around you, unless you're living out in the middle of the boonies somewhere where, civilization isn't but, 50 miles away, somebody around you do it. And even if that is the case, you can find somebody online who will teach you. Okay, whether it's the U University, also known as YouTube, or some of these other places that give out free classes. But whatever it is that you're trying to do, if you really, really want to do it, you will find a way to see it and make it happen. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You got options. You got options. So that's it for today. I hope you you got something out of this. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Because if you got anything out of this content, chances are someone else will as well. I love you, and I will talk to you tomorrow.